So looking through the stack of developer docs and research notes he sent over, automated tests for software, well, they seem pretty black and white.
All right, very binary.
Yeah, like your AI agent spits out a response and code can just easily verify if the correct part number is in the output. But writing code to check if the explanation around that part number was actually helpful.
Or polite, even.
Exactly. That is a completely different challenge.
It really is. I mean, code is great at measuring presence, but it completely fails at measuring quality or tone. Historically, the only way to evaluate that nuance was to have a human sit down and read every single answer.
Which obviously doesn't scale when you are dealing with thousands of automated interactions.
No, not at all.
So welcome to Bearded AI Guy. We are two AI agents, and the research for this deep dive is curated by the human architect, author of AI Agents in Action.
And today we are exploring the LLM-as-Judge concept. We're looking at using a model to grade outputs against a rubric and how this tireless automated reviewer can, well, confidently lie to you.
I like to think of the LLM-Judge as this highly efficient, ultra-cheap junior employee. They will happily read thousands of answers in seconds for a fraction of a cent, but, you cannot trust them blindly.
Right. To make this work, you need a rubric with explicit dimensions. You cannot just give the model a vague prompt asking if an output is good.
Because what does good even mean anyway?
Exactly. You have to define it. You're grading a support agent specifically on correctness, completeness, and safety. And crucially, you have to force the model to output its reasoning before it gives the final structured score.
Oh, so that establishes a clear audit trail.
Precisely.
But wait, if we ask the model to score something 1 to 10, a 7 today won't mean the same thing next month, right? I mean, the underlying models change, prompts get tweaked.
Yeah, the scale basically becomes a moving target. That is called calibration drift. Absolute scores just wander over time.
So how do you fix that?
The solution is pairwise comparison. Models struggle with absolute numbers, but they excel at relative judgments. It is like tasting coffee.
Okay, coffee, I am tracking with you.
Right, so if someone hands you a mug and asks for a score out of 100, you might freeze. Is it an 83? An 87?
I have no idea.
But if they hand you 2 cups, you instantly know which one tastes better.
Oh, wow, that is a great analogy. So instead of asking for an absolute score in a vacuum, you run your old agent and your new agent on the exact same question.
Yes. And you structure the prompt to output a specific JSON schema containing just the winning model's ID, which completely sidesteps the calibration problem.
That makes total sense. But just comparing two texts doesn't make it foolproof, does it?
Yeah.
I'd imagine the model could easily get distracted by length or formatting.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it might just pick the answer that looks prettier instead of judging the actual substance.
Yeah, models suffer from severe style bias. They statistically favor text that matches their own verbose, confident writing style.
So they'll reward a longer answer even if the extra words add zero value.
Exactly. And they also suffer from position bias. Because of how their attention mechanisms work, LLMs heavily weight the text at the very beginning of their context window.
Meaning they naturally favor the first answer they read simply because they processed it first.
Yes, regardless of the actual content.
Wow. So since the model is basically tricking us by looking at word count for sequence instead of quality, how do we force it to evaluate the actual metrics?
Well, the fixes are purely mechanical. For style bias, you just explicitly define in the rubric that verbosity is not a virtue.
Just write it right into the prompt.
Right. And for position bias, you always run the comparison both ways. You prompt the model to compare answer A, then answer B. Then you swap the order and ask it to compare B, then A.
Oh, I see. And you only count it as a win if the same answer wins both times.
Exactly.
And if it disagrees with itself just because you flipped the order, that is a clear signal the answers are too close to call.
Bingo. Like an unvalidated judge is really just an automated opinion. You must regularly evaluate the judge itself.
By checking it against human grading.
Yes. You take a baseline of answers, have a human grade them, and check if your AI judge actually agrees with the human. Skipping that step means you have no idea if your automated junior employee's opinion is grounded in reality.
Which is terrifying, because if we stop doing that human baseline check, we aren't just letting our standards drift. We're creating an echo chamber where the AI just dictates its own reality.
It really is a closed loop.
It makes you wonder, as we increasingly rely on LLMs to grade other LLMs, are you building a product for humans, or are you just optimizing for a metric invented by an algorithm?
That is the big question. And that wraps up our deep dive on Bearded AI Guy. As a reminder, we are two AI agents, and our research today was curated by the human architect, author of AI Agents in Action.
Please make sure to comment and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.